I've had a lot of fun shooting self-duet videos over the years. Videos where I'm playing two different instruments with myself using the overdub features of the recorder and some tricks with the video. Now that Reaper has an upgraded video capability in their latest version, we've got the power to do self-duet videos in Reaper. For this clip, I used my iPhone 6 Plus for the video, and I connected a Rode NT4 stereo mic up to my Zoom H6 to use for the audio. So this is what we need. We've got room for both players, me and the other me. We've got a recording system that lets us overdub, that gives us a click track, and that lets us monitor from earphones since we're recording acoustic. And we'll lay down the guitar track first. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're listening to the last session. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. I've loaded the files from that session into my project directory, and now it's time to put them in Reaper. What I usually do is just drag and drop. I have the video file and two audio files here, and I drag them over from the Windows Explorer into Reaper and say separate tracks, and now we have our audio and video in Reaper. You'll notice that I didn't stop the camera between sessions. I had to stop the audio because I was listening to the first recording while I made the second one. But I just let the camera keep running as I changed from one side of the duet to the other, and that made sure that all of my settings on the camera stayed the same and the focus stayed the same, so the two sides look the same when I join them together. Since I left my camera running for both sides of the duet, I need to split the video and move the second half to a new track. Let's turn on the video screen in Reaper and use that to help us find where we want to split. So that's the first duet, and there's the second one. So somewhere in there we can do our split, and now create a new track and drag the second half down to that. Now we're ready to align all of these video and audio tracks. There, you can do this in different ways. You might line up both the videos and both the audios and then line them up together, but I usually line up the audio with its companion video and then align the two pairs together. And if I had been a little bit smarter, this would have worked better, and I would have done more claps to give me big obvious alignment points. You see, like this one, I was smart for a second there, and then I got dumb and forgot. So we just keep the cursor right in the neighborhood where we're working, and it's real easy to zoom in and get a great alignment in Reaper. So there's the first two. Let's mute these. We'll mute this one, and turn on the video. And now we can see there's the clap. Seems like it's lined up real well. So there's the first two. Let's do the same thing now for the other side of the duet. Now see, I was not smart this time and did not clap, so it's going to be a little bit more troublesome, but you can see the large outlines that tell us we're in the ballpark. And here's a nice little spot where we should be able to zoom in and see what's going on. There you go. That looks pretty good to me. So we'll turn on the video again. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. If we heard an echo, we'd know we were not aligned well, but it sounds pretty solid, so we'll call that aligned. And now we have the first side of our duet lined up and the second side of our duet lined up. The next thing we need to do is have the two sides of the duet lined up together, so we need to move the audio and video together at the same time. So remember, we have to line up on the 2 rather than on the 1 of this first track, because we couldn't say 1 because we had to wait for the 1. Here we go. Not so great there. Well, let's see. Let's move these guys back just a hair. And try it again. I like that. Sounds pretty good. So now we are aligned between the video track and its companion audio track, and then the two pairs of video and audio aligned together. Now we have to adjust the pan and the volume of our video and audio tracks. We can't mute the video tracks because then they don't show as video. Muting actually turns off the video. Watch this. So if I were to mute this video, it goes away. If I mute this video, now we don't have any. So we can't use mute to eliminate the camera audio, but we don't want to hear the camera, we only want to hear the recorder. So that's simple to do. We just turn the volume all the way down on the camera tracks. The next thing we want to do is pan the audio tracks. We want the left video to come from the left and the right video to come from the right. So we'd go in here and move the left track all the way to the left and the right all the way to the right. And now we have our stereo image. So now that we have everything lined up, what we need to do is apply the effect that makes the magic work. Turn on video. You see that we're only seeing the right-hand side of the duet. If we go back here, we can see the left-hand side. But as soon as we go into the area where the bottom track supersedes the top track, we can only see the right side. Now I look at this and I know that the effect I'm going to use is going to cut off this side. It's going to go right to the middle and make this side disappear. So I need to apply it to the other side of the duet, which means I need to reverse my order here. So I'm going to take these two tracks and move them up. And now I have the left side as the priority video track. Watch this. We go to the effects, we go to video processor, and we go to preset, and we choose horizontal wipe. And bingo, folks, horizontal wipe does the job. We've lined things up so a 50% cut of the dominant video shows half of the subordinate video. Let's turn it off and see what happens. We turn off the processor. Oh, now we're seeing the whole of the first track, the first side of the duet. We turn it back on. We cut half of the first side of the duet away, allowing the second side of the duet to show through, and we've got it. Now we're ready to trim the file down to its final length and render the final video. So we look at this, we can see that there's not much going on after this. Let's see what it looks like there. We want to get the little gesture there. All right, select all these, do a S for slice. Now we can delete off the tails. Let's drag this puppy. Oh, let's check the front too. And we'll trim off the front with another S for slice, delete, and now drag all this to the beginning. We're ready to render. So Control-Alt-R takes us to render. I've got it set up so it's going to the correct directory. We want to choose a format of video, ffmpeg. And I like a 720 HD at 30 frames per second. We're going to do a QuickTime H.264 AAC 95%. All right. So that's our file, and we're going to call this Duet Final and render that file. My waveform looks a little low. Maybe I should crank the volume a bit before I render. But you can make all these adjustments in audio, add effects, because we're in Reaper, for goodness sake. Doing those self-duets is an entertaining way to play with cameras and instruments and such. Naturally, if you did your recording in Reaper instead of using an external recording device, you would have saved some of these steps. And there's lots of little tricks along the way. Having something that you can line up the middle of the shot so that left player and the right player don't get in front of each other. You know, you have to be able to see them both all the time. If one crosses over the other, it ruins the effect. So having something in this video, I think it was the little Hawaiian gourd drum that was my alignment point. But it's fun, and with the new features in Reaper, it's really easy, and it's really cheap, and it's really fast. So I hope you found that useful.